everybody. Welcome back. We are diving deep today
into
how to master spoken English.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, super relevant to a lot of our listeners out there.
I think so, too.
And we've got some really cool sources
Yes,
that we're going to be pulling from today.
And they're really fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, I was reading through them and
Yeah.
like, whoa.
I mean, I think there's going to be some stuff that even
Absolutely.
people who think they know spoken English
Yeah.
are going to be like, oh, wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah. So it's for everyone.
If you are ready to really kind of ditch the phrase book
Exactly.
and sound more natural and fluent,
Yes.
then this is the deep dive for you.
Absolutely.
So what really stood out to me in a lot of this material was the emphasis on actually
doing
it.
Yeah.
Not just the theory.
It's not the theory, exactly.
But actually going out and using it.
So one of the things that they talked about was this idea of daily practice.
Yeah.
But they make it really manageable.
Yes.
They talk about just taking 10 minutes in the morning.
Okay.
To work on one specific grammar point.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just having a 5-minute conversation with a language partner.
Yeah, which is
much less daunting than
oh my gosh, I have to study English for 3 hours today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like building a muscle.
Yeah.
You don't go to the gym for 8 hours.
Right, you're not going to be able to move.
And expect to lift, 500 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool.
So that really resonated with me because it's even for people who are busy.
Yes.
You can find 10 minutes in your day.
Absolutely.
Work on this.
Totally.
Another thing that was really cool, and it kind of goes along with that, is this idea of active listening. So it's one thing to just kind of passively, have English going on in the background.
Like watching TV or listening to music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But active listening is more about really engaging with it.
Okay.
So repeating phrases you hear.
Okay.
Focusing on how the sounds are made, really paying attention to the pronunciation,
right? Maybe
even writing down any new words that you come across.
Yeah, and I know, I've definitely done that before where, I'll be watching a movie, and I'm like, oh, that phrase, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to use that later. Or,
exactly. Yeah, and it's fun, too, because you're like, oh, I can use that.
Yeah.
So it's it's bringing in the things that you enjoy into the learning process.
Yeah. Okay.
When it comes to vocabulary,
yes,
the sources really kind of cautioned against rote memorization.
Just using flashcards.
What's flashcards?
Yeah.
They really emphasize learning new words in context.
Okay, so actually seeing them used in a sentence.
Yeah, or even using them in a sentence.
Like writing a story.
Yes.
With that new word.
Yes. So you're not just memorizing a definition.
Right.
You're actually understanding how to use it.
Gotcha. Which is much more useful.
It is much more useful.
Okay.
I mean, I think we've all had that experience where you're like, oh, I know this word, but then you're like,
but I don't know how to use it.
I don't know how to use it in a sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, kind of going hand in hand with that is conversation practice.
Right.
Actually getting out there and talking to people.
Yeah. And that can be scary.
Yeah, I know.
It can be super intimidating.
I remember when I first joined an English conversation group. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh.
You think they're going to judge you?
Everyone's so nice.
They're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
They all want to learn too.
Exactly.
And they're probably just as nervous as you are.
Yeah. And the more I did it, the more comfortable I got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
And then, this is something I found really fascinating.
Okay.
Is the emphasis on pronunciation.
Okay.
And it goes beyond just individual sounds.
Right.
They talk about things like stress, intonation, rhythm.
The music of the language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how your voice goes up and down.
Right.
Where you put the emphasis in a sentence.
Right. And that all conveys meaning.
Yes, it does.
Right.
It can completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Yeah.
If you put the stress on the wrong word.
Yeah. And they even get into really nitty gritty stuff like vowel reduction.
Vowel reduction and linking sound.
Yeah. What is that?
So vowel reduction is I'm so curious.
It's basically when you're speaking naturally, you don't pronounce every vowel fully. They kind of get shortened or sometimes they almost disappear.
Right.
And then linking sounds is when words kind of flow together.
Yeah.
The end of one word blends with the beginning of the next word.
Okay.
And that's what makes spoken English sound
natural and
smooth.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And there are all these apps and tools now.
Yes, there are.
Which are amazing.
I know, it's amazing.
You can literally have a pronunciation coach in your pocket.
Right on your phone.
Yeah.
Like you can record yourself and get instant feedback on your pronunciation.
Amazing.
It's fantastic. Yeah. And then the last thing that I thought was really cool was they talked about reading aloud.
Oh, yeah.
Which might seem kind of old school.
Yeah.
But it's actually super effective for improving your fluency.
Okay.
Your confidence. Okay. And just like getting comfortable.
Yeah, speaking
out loud.
Okay.
So you can pick anything,
like a book.
An article.
Like an interesting poem, even just like a social media post.
Right.
If it's something that you're interested in.
Exactly.
You're more likely to want to read it aloud.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So to kind of wrap things up.
Yeah.
I think the big takeaway here is...
What is the big takeaway?
It's that anyone can improve their spoken English.
Okay.
With consistent effort.
Yes.
And the right approach.
Yes, and using all these tools.
Yeah. It's like...
So I guess to leave everyone with something to think about.
Yes.
What part of spoken English are you most, like, excited to improve?
Okay.
And then what is, like, one little thing you can do today?
One little step.
To start working on that.
Love it.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
Make yourself accountable. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you need to do, just, like, get started.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe someday you'll be the one giving the tips on spoken English.
I love it.
So until next time.
Until next time.
Keep practicing. Happy practicing.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.